A grenade attack on a Cambodian opposition protest in the country's capital killed 16 people. A political commentator critical of Cambodia's ruling family shot dead in a Phnom Penh cafe. And now, in January 2025, an outspoken former opposition MP, Lim Kimya, is gunned down in Thailand's capital, Bangkok. The Cambodian government denies any hand in the attacks, but opposition leaders believe otherwise.
Over the last 30 years, over 80 of opposition supporters have been assassinated. And you can add Lim Kimya now.
Ça nous a détruits. Il nous manque beaucoup.
Reeling with grief, Lim Kimya's family and friends demand justice.
Mon père est un homme intègre qui aimait profondément son pays et les Cambodgiens. Il a donné sa vie pour améliorer la situation.
They try to close the case and they just say that this is personal dispute. But we know that this is political assassination.
Cambodian dissidents across the world now fear for their lives.
The message is wherever you are not safe. We, the Cambodian government, can kill you wherever you are.
One Omanese travels across the globe to investigate the killing of Lim Kimya and the long reach of Cambodia's increasingly repressive government. January 2025. A hired killer weaves through the streets of Thailand's capital, Bangkok, towards his target. CCTV cameras capture him pulling in opposite a busy bus station in the centre of the city and crossing the road.
Mon mari, il n'était jamais aussi heureux qu'à ce moment-là. Il n'y avait pas d'ombre. Arrivé à l'arrêt de bus, toutes les personnes qui étaient dans le bus, on est tous descendus.
Annie Lim and her husband, former Cambodian opposition member of parliament Lim Kimya, were on holidays and just arrived from Cambodia's Siem Reap.
On a récupéré nos valises et là, on a contourné l'autobus pour prendre un taxi.
The killer is waiting. Within moments, gunshots ring out.
J'ai entendu 2 coups de fusil. Et moi, j'ai cru que c'était des pétards. J'ai tourné la tête à ma droite et j'ai vu une personne marcher relativement vite et puis qui me regardait.
The contact fleeting as the assassin leaves the scene.
Je regarde mon époux. Et d'un seul coup, je le vois s'affaisser tout doucement vers le sol. Et puis, on l'a allongé par terre et il était mort.
Police photographs show the shocking reality. A disgraced former Thai Marine confessed he was contracted to carry out the hit. But 2 Cambodians suspected of orchestrating it flew out of Thailand back to Cambodia just hours later and remain at large.
C'est dramatique. Je suis obligée de le surmonter, oui. Mais ça nous a détruits. Il nous manque beaucoup. Je sais que ça...
A Cambodian French citizen, at 73, Lim Kimya is laid to rest in France. But there's little rest for those left behind.
Alors pourquoi le gouvernement cambodgien laisse en liberté ces 2 coupables? Pourquoi il ne les donne pas à la justice pour qu'on puisse connaître la vérité?
Lim Kimya's story and the Cambodian government's well-documented attacks on the opposition may provide the answers. At home in Paris, Annie describes meeting Lim at university in 1972, soon after he arrived in France.
Il venait du Cambodge parce que il a eu une bourse de l'État français. Voilà, et c'était une personne charmante, un beau garçon, bien entendu. Et on a eu des sentiments tout de suite.
Marriage and 3 children followed. Thomas is the youngest.
En 1975, quand les Khmers rouges sont arrivés, il ne pouvait plus retourner au Cambodge, donc il a compris que sa vie était ici. Mais il avait toujours cette idée, son cœur était resté au pays.
A mathematician, Lim Kimya worked for France's finance ministry for more than 3 decades. But his passion for Cambodia saw him publish a Khmer language political magazine from home.
Il était impliqué en politique depuis la France pour améliorer le Cambodge.
Lim's daughter Sophanie says he was driven to fight corruption and inequality.
Je sais ce que souhaitait faire mon père dans le sens large. C'était changer le gouvernement qui pour lui était corrompu, puisque aujourd'hui il y a une grande différence entre les riches qui vivent grâce à l'industrie et aux matières premières du Cambodge et le reste de la population qui souvent vivent avec pas grand-chose.
Transparency International ranks Cambodia as one of the most corrupt countries in Asia, with wealth concentrated in the hands of the ruling elite. Lim Kimya's nemesis was Hun Sen. Having defected from the Khmer Rouge, his long reign began in 1985. As soon as Lim Kimya retired from the French civil service, he went back to Cambodia to work with the opposition and was elected to parliament in 2013.
Surtout qu'on le voyait avec son uniforme blanc devant le roi. On était fiers que voilà, ce petit garçon qui venait de la campagne, en sachant que ses parents n'étaient pas riches, hein, il ne faisait pas de politique, il n'était pas fortuné, il est arrivé là où il est arrivé tout seul.
But his family knew being an opposition MP for the Cambodian National Rescue Party, or CNRP, came with risks.
Depuis toujours, on savait que faire la politique au Cambodge, enfin, critiquer le gouvernement était dangereux et que c'était pas le premier à être assassiné, et ça serait malheureusement pas le dernier.
At the 2013 election, Hun Sen's ruling party only just scraped back in, despite accusations it was involved in electoral fraud. The leader launched a brutal campaign against critics and the opposition. Lim Kimya put himself in the firing line. His clashes with Hun Sen in parliament were legendary.
Il critiquait par rapport à la déforestation. Il critiquait par rapport au sable aussi qu'il y avait dans les rivières où on prenait du sable pour le revendre à l'étranger. Et ça, pareil, ça détruisait l'environnement cambodgien. Et surtout, on avait critiqué la Croix-Rouge, en sachant que la directrice de la Croix-Rouge cambodgienne, c'est la femme de Hun Sen.
Hun Sen's wife has been president of the Cambodian Red Cross for more than 30 years. Every year, the country's billionaires line up to hand her millions. But Lim dared to accuse the charity of being a slush fund. It was a day his opposition colleague, King Suksan, will never forget.
Hun Sen so angry, you know, if someone criticizes his family member, he always react immediately. But Mr. Kimya, he's so brave man. He smile and confident and look back to Hun Sen, talk to him very curiously.
Lim Kimya's nerve would soon be tested. In 2014, he was one of 10 people injured when he defied a ban on public gatherings in Phnom Penh's Freedom Park.
He got hit from some gangster, or Cambodians say bad dai ti bay, yeah, but I don't know how to say in English, but is used by Cambodian authority.
A year later, 2 CNRP lawmakers were seriously beaten in front of Parliament. Lim felt lucky to have escaped that attack, but his family say there were other times he felt his life was in danger.
Il était injoignable pendant plus d'1 mois. Il s'était caché quelque part. Et moi, chaque fois que j'allais le voir en partant, je me disais peut-être c'était la dernière fois que je le voyais. Je pensais qu'il l'aurait arrêté, qu'il l'aurait mis en prison.
As support for the opposition continued to surge, more than a dozen of its members were jailed. The party's leader, Kem Sokha, was placed under house arrest and ultimately sentenced to 27 years in prison for treason. Then in 2017, the CNRP was dealt a final blow. It was outlawed.
I want to flee. I need to leave because my family begged me, you cannot stay in jail like Mr. Kem Sokha.
Hing Sok-san narrowly escaped arrest after being accused of treachery. He was given asylum in the US.
I love my beautiful country and the people. That's why I want to go back. But now it's not allowed me to go back.
Lim Kimya returned to France, but with no arrest warrant hanging over him, he was able to visit Cambodia regularly.
Il allait voir les gens là-bas, la situation sur place, et discuter un peu politique.
By 2023, Hun Sen had handed the prime ministership to his son, Hun Manet. But Lim's political activism didn't stop, even when he was holidaying in Cambodia with his wife in late December 2024. In what would be his final social media post, he took aim at Hun Sen's younger son and Deputy Prime Minister, Hun Manet, for hosting an extravagant New Year's event at which a portrait of the king was destroyed.
Mon père, c'était quelqu'un qui respectait énormément les traditions et les personnes plus âgées que lui. Et en particulier, il respectait énormément la famille royale. Et que pour lui, le feu artifice qui a brûlé la photo du roi, c'était quand même scandaleux pour lui et très symbolique.
4 days later, Lim Kimya was shot dead in neighbouring Thailand. At the scene was Colonel Chakamnoi Wongbunrit.
ก็คุณลีคิมยาเนี่ยเขาประสบเหตุอยู่ตรงบริเวณนี้ก็โดนอาวุธปืนยิงจำนวน3 นัดก็บริเวณที่ลำตัวเนี่ยช่วงตรงนี้ครับ
Vision from CCTV cameras surrounding the crime scene helped police quickly identify the killer.
ผู้ต้องหาเนี่ยช่วงก่อเหตุเนี่ยเขาไม่ได้สวมหมวกมันเลยเห็นใบหน้าแล้วก็เห็นทะเบียนรถคันที่เขาหลบหนีก็เช็คทะเบียน
An arrest warrant was issued for former Thai Marine Ekalak Panoy after he was seen on CCTV crossing into Cambodia that night. He was detained by Cambodian authorities the following afternoon. The next day, Thai police issued another arrest warrant, this time for Cambodian Pik Kim Srin. CCTV footage shows him on the bus with Lim and at the crime scene. Police believe he acted as a spotter for the shooter.
คนชี้เป้าเนี่ยบอกว่ารถเนี่ยกำลังจะมาจอดพอลงจากรถคนอื่นเนี่ยเขาก็จะไปที่อื่นแต่ว่าผู้ต้องหาคนชี้เป้าเนี่ยเขาลงจากรถเนี่ยเขาไปลักษณะสบตากับมือปืนจนแน่ใจว่าผู้ตายได้เสียชีวิตเขาก็หลบหนีไปแล้วก็นั่งต่อเครื่องบินกลับกัมพูชาภายในวันเกิดเหตุเลย
Within days, the shooter was returned to Thailand. He confessed to killing Lim Kimya as a favour to another Cambodian, Lee Ratanak Raksmay. He claimed Lee had helped him financially after he was dismissed from the Thai Navy in 2023.
สื่ออย่างนี้นะครับว่ามือปืนเนี่ยไม่รู้จักผู้ตายเลยเขาให้การว่าเขาตอบแทนบุญคุณผู้มีพระคุณ
General Adapon Wong Siriprida is leading the Metropolitan Police investigation. He says Lee Ratanak Raksmay arrived in Thailand on the eve of the killing and flew out to Cambodia the morning after. He reveals police have evidence he sent money to the shooter.
รวมทั้งเส้นทางการเงินเรื่องนี้สำคัญนะครับในการส่งเงินมาเป็นค่าดำเนินการต่างๆนะครับประกอบกันจนศาลเนี่ยเชื่อมั่นในข้อมูลแล้วออกหมายจับให้เรา
Veteran Cambodian opposition leader Sam Rainsy immediately recognised the suspect. He'd met him at CNRP events in Thailand, where Lee was supposed to rally supporters.
He was always asking for money for work that is not convincing. So we didn't trust him. We were right because he defected to Hun Manet
and had a meteoric rise. Within 2 years of joining the ruling party, news reports announced his appointment as an advisor to Hun Sen. But just days after Thailand issued an arrest warrant against him, a new document suddenly surfaced, claiming Hun Sen had sacked Lee 9 months earlier for violating party rules.
What a strange coincidence. We knew of the existence of this appointment immediately. Suppose that he was subsequently dismissed only a few months after. Why this dismissal document had not been publicized long before the arrest warrant? It is very convenient for Hun Sen to try to clean his hand like that.
Lee's social media posts indicate he remained a strong supporter of the ruling party. His suspected accomplice and fellow fugitive Pik Kin Srin is also close to a powerful political figure. The alleged spotter's brother is Pik Sros, a Cambodian politician who was instrumental in having Lim Kimya's opposition party banned. But for Sam Rainsy, of even greater significance is the fact Pik Kin Srin is a manager of Phnom Penh's central market, which comes under the city's administration, known as the Town Hall.
The Town Hall is of special importance for Hun Sen in conducting the crackdown on the opposition. Hun Sen organized unidentified henchmen who beat, attacked, and sometimes killed opponents in the street. So these repression forces is organized by the City Hall.
The government claims any clashes are a result of civil disobedience. But just a week after Lim Kimya was shot dead, any possible links to the Cambodian ruling party were dismissed by Thailand's National Police Commissioner.
เพียงแต่ว่าการสอบสวนเราเนี่ยออกมาในความชัดเจนว่ามันไม่ได้เกี่ยวข้องกับการเมืองของประเทศต่างๆเลยแต่เป็นความขัดแย้งระหว่างผู้ใช้จ้างวานกับผู้ตายที่มีความขัดแย้งอันนำมาสู่เหตุของการผมไม่ได้พูดเพื่อปกป้องใครนะครับยืนยันในขณะที่เป็นผบ.ตร.เนี่ยพูดไปมันก็จะเกี่ยวพันกับตัวเองแต่ว่าไม่ได้พูดเพื่อเอาใจใคร
For Lim Kimya's family, the statement was preposterous.
Le gars qui a fait le transfert d'argent, sur cette personne-là, je sais strictement rien et mon mari non plus.
Mon père, je pense, n'avait pas d'ennemis pour des affaires personnelles. Les seuls ennemis qu'il avait, c'était pour son engagement politique et pour les articles qu'il continuait à écrire pour dénoncer le gouvernement en place.
Et là, je me pose la question, c'est comment ils savent que c'est une raison personnelle, puisque le commanditaire de l'assassinat est toujours pas arrêté.
But General Adapon insists the hired gunman provided the crucial leads.
เขารับเมสเสจมาอย่างเงี้ยว่าผู้จ้างวานเนี่ยบอกว่ามีความโกรธแค้นส่วนตัวพอเราได้รับข้อมูลจากผู้ต้องหาอย่างเงี้ยนะครับเราก็ไปสืบสวนพบว่าในอดีตเนี่ยนะฮะผู้ตายกับในลีรัศมีเนี่ยรู้จักคุ้นเคยกันดีแต่ตอนหลังเนี่ยมีปัญหากันนะครับเกิดความขัดแย้งทั้งเรื่องส่วนตัวและเรื่องธุรกิจ ไม่ลงรอยกันหลายประการนะครับ
And what were the specifics about that conflict?
But the general can't provide any details of the alleged feud or even the relationship, claiming that's beyond his brief.
คือข้อมูลทางคดีเนี่ยนะครับขณะนี้สำนักงานตำรวจแห่งชาติเนี่ยให้ตำรวจสันติบาลซึ่งรับผิดชอบเรื่องนี้ทำการสืบสวนอยู่ข้อมูลในเรื่องนี้นะครับ
Unacceptable for me. Mr. Lim Kimya, he's run only political activity in his constituency, so he never have a relationship with those guys.
What makes it even worse for Hin Sok San is that Lim Kimya is the second close colleague he's seen killed over a supposed personal dispute. The other was popular political commentator Kem Lay, who was shot dead in a cafe in the centre of Cambodia's capital, Phnom Penh, in 2016. His killing came just 2 days after he commented on an international report exposing Hun Sen's family's vast business interests.
ច្បាប់ប្រឆាំងនឹងអំពើពុករលួយត្រូវមានការប្រកាសទ្រព្យសម្បត្តិជាចំហជាលក្ខណៈគ្រួសារហើយមានការស៊ើបអង្កេតប្រសិនបើទ្រព្យសម្បត្តិ
Kem Lay's killer was caught within hours.
They say that the gunsman they killed Kem Lay because Kem Lay borrowed $2,000 or $3,000, something like that. It's not real. They try to close the case, and they just say that this is personal dispute. Yeah, but we know that, and the public know that this is political assassination.
As tens of thousands poured onto the streets to mourn Kem Lay's death, Hun Sen denied his government's involvement.
Mr. Kem Lay, I work with him a lot. I respect that both guys very much. And now they left me very emotional. I cannot say it's broke my heart so much that both guys got killed.
The same modus operandi, an Assyrian unmasked. They were not afraid because they knew they have very powerful protection. They come, they meet with the target, just bloody kill him, and went back nonchalantly, as if nothing happened. In Thailand, they do the same, very surprising.
2 weeks after Lim Kimya's killing, Cambodia's Prime Minister finally broke his silence, strongly refuting claims his government was involved.
ខ្ញុំសួរថារដ្ឋាភិបាលល្ងងដល់ថ្នាក់ហ្នឹងល្ងងគឺអីបើរដ្ឋាភិបាលអ្នកចាត់ចែងអ្នកនៅពីក្រោយការចាំបាច់ចាប់ឃាតករបញ្ជូនទៅឲ្យថៃស៊ើបទៅអី
On ne le croit pas du tout. Donc c'est pas en l'envoyant en Thaïlande qui montre qu'il est innocent. Il n'avait pas d'autre choix qu'en gardant un tireur recherché par la Thaïlande. Et avec autant de vidéos qu'il y a sur... tout a été filmé. Donc, et il savait très bien que le tireur n'avait aucune information. Donc il ne prenait pas de grand risque à le renvoyer en Thaïlande.
The question to ask to Hun Manet, what about the two suspects that the Thai police have identified? Why don't you deliver them?
Ils ont su trouver le tireur 24 heures après et même moins. Je pense qu'ils seraient capables d'extrader les 2 personnes qui restent, puisque ces 2 personnes ont été quand même proches du gouvernement.
But General Attapon assures us Cambodia is cooperating.
โดยได้นำเรียนนะครับจะเห็นได้จากเบื้องต้นที่ประสานตัวจ่าเอ็มกลับมาและรอบ2เนี่ยนะครับก็อยู่เขาก็ยังคงประสานงานอย่างต่อเนื่องครับ
Is there any frustration on your part with the Cambodian authorities?
อันนี้ไม่มีความเห็นครับ
At the traffic island where Lim Kimya was killed, life goes on. Tourists are oblivious to what happened here, but many Cambodians have been left terrorized.
He always think about his people. He wants Cambodian people like freedom, like French people, So for me, I want to say I am sorry to him.
This former opposition politician took a son to the site.
because I want him to know. It's really like in Cambodia. It really lies for Cambodian people like us, like politicians.
Facing arrest in Cambodia, she and her political colleagues sought refuge in Thailand. But they now fear their lives are in peril.
ពួកខ្ញុំមានអារម្មណ៍ថារបបដឹកនាំរបស់ហ៊ុនសែនហ្នឹងដែលដូចជាគេហៅថាបិសាចដែលមានអំណាចខ្លាំងអាចសម្លាប់មនុស្សនៅទីណាក៏បានដែរអញ្ចឹងយើងខ្លាច
Once a haven for dissidents running from oppressive governments in the region, in recent years the country has become increasingly dangerous, especially for Cambodians.
Because Thailand also became more autocratic, and this made the Thai government more compatible, more supportive of the Cambodian repression.
The situation alarms Thai political scientist Professor Titanan Pongsudarak.
We've seen the cases of Cambodians who sought refuge in Thailand have been persecuted, and Thai dissidents mysteriously disappeared, killed in Laos, but also in Cambodia. And this has been kind of cross-border persecution.
One of the Cambodians he's talking about is Hun Manet. An opposition activist since 2007, he began organising for a newly reformed opposition party in 2021. Just 2 years later, the party would be barred from the elections.
សារតែសកម្មភាពរបស់ខ្ញុំរបបក្រុងភ្នំពេញរបបត្រកូលហ៊ុនមិនសប្បាយចិត្តទេពេលនោះគេក៏ចេញដីកាចាប់ខ្លួនខ្ញុំ
In mid-2022, Hun Manet fled Cambodia for Thailand, forced to leave his pregnant wife and son behind. But he refused to stay silent.
កាលណាខ្ញុំមានឱកាសចុះជួបពលករគឺខ្ញុំតែងតែនិយាយអំពីបញ្ហាការដឹកនាំជិះជាន់
He says senior members of Cambodia's ruling party tried to persuade him to defect.
គេសួរថាតើខ្ញុំចង់បានអីចង់បានទូនាទីអីគេព្យាយាមចង់ជួបខ្ញុំនៅទីក្រុងបាងកកហ្នឹងគេក៏ថាបើសិនជាខ្ញុំនៅតែបដិសេធគេនឹងទៅលេងផ្ទះខ្ញុំដោយសារគេស្គាល់អាស័យដ្ឋានផ្ទះរបស់ខ្ញុំច្បាស់ហើយស្គាល់គ្រួសារខ្ញុំច្បាស់ផ្ទះពលករនៅទីនេះ
A few days later, his wife was driving when she was hit by another car.
នេះគឺជារូបភាពដែលភរិយារបស់ខ្ញុំត្រូវគេការបង្កឲ្យមានគ្រោះថ្នាក់នេះគឺខ្ញុំគិតថាគឺជាការប៉ុនប៉ងសម្រាប់ប្រពន្ធខ្ញុំ
Soon after, she left for Thailand with their son, but Manet says the persecution didn't stop. Teaching at a school for children of Cambodian migrant workers, he says one day he felt he was being watched. CCTV shows him on his motorbike when some men approach.
ឃើញខ្ញុំឈប់នៅទីនេះមានបរិសម្នាក់មានធំខ្ពស់គាត់ចេញពីឡានមកវាយខ្ញុំយកតែម្ដងហើយមាន2នាក់ទៀតឃើញចេញដល់នេះ
His assailant, speaking in Khmer, Manet narrowly escaped, seeking refuge nearby.
តែចៃដន្យខ្ញុំរត់រួចចូលទៅក្នុងផ្ទះពលករក្នុងហ្នឹងខ្ញុំស្រែកឆោឡោហើយពលករក្នុងស្រែកឆោឡោហើយពួកគេចេញមកវិញឯងអ្វីដែលខ្ញុំសន្និដ្ឋានហ្នឹងគឺគេប្រុងនឹងបញ្ជូនទៅកម្ពុជាវិញឬក៏អាចសម្លាប់ខ្ញុំចោលតែម្ដង
But the situation was about to get even more precarious. In February 2024, then Thai Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin met with Cambodia's counterpart Hun Manet in Bangkok, pledging to strengthen cooperation around security.
I have assured Prime Minister Hun Manet that it is Thailand's policy not to allow anyone to use Thailand as a platform to interfere in the internal affairs or conduct harmful activities against our neighboring countries. We will strictly enforce our laws and policy in this respect.
Thavisin was from former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawat's party, Shinawat's daughter replacing him as Prime Minister in August 2024. Personal connections are another reason political analyst Pongsudarak believes the two countries have aligned.
The Hun family and the Shinawat family are very close, and so the first international visitor after Thaksin returned to Thailand from 15 years exile was Hun Sen. He came very quickly to visit Thaksin. They even have a intermarriage between the families, and so You know, the relationship runs very deep. So when Hun Manet comes here, or when Hun Sen comes here, they don't want any dissent, any demonstrations.
5 days before the leaders met, Porn Panna was alarmed when he saw Thai police outside the building where he and his family were living. By now they had UNHCR refugee status.
មុនពេលដែលមានការចរចាឬក៏ត្រូវរៅផ្នែកនយោបាយពីប្រទេសមួយទៅប្រទេសមួយទោះបីជាអាជ្ញាធរឆែកឃើញថាយើងនឹងអត់មានឯកសាររស់នៅប្រទេសថៃមានតែកាត UN ក៏គេដោះលែងដែរ
But that wasn't the case this time. Detained by police, he says he was then interrogated about other Cambodian dissidents in Thailand.
រឿងនេះគឺការដែលថាពួកខ្ញុំរស់នៅប្រទេសថៃខុសច្បាប់មិនមានឯកសាររស់នៅប្រទេសថៃក៏ជាហេតុផលមួយទេ
Panna and his family were taken to this immigration centre and separated. He's still traumatised by what his wife and children endured.
ហើយសម្បត្តិនេះគឺដោយសារតែប្រពន្ធរបស់ខ្ញុំគាត់បានរៀបរាប់ទុក្ខលំបាករបស់គាត់នឹងអាណិតតែកូនគ្នាអត់មានអី
Intense pressure from his lawyers and international NGOs led to his family's release after 3 months and his release 2 months later. They needed a guarantor, an address in Thailand and to post bail of almost $3,000.
It's huge amount of money. You know, refugee, they even don't have their money for their daily living. We could not imagine that how Thai, continue to use that as a threat to the refugee. Luckily, we find a generous guarantor that supports Panna and family with the baby.
Kim Hun Tit is an overseas member of the banned Cambodian opposition party, the CNRP. She helped to finally bring Porn Panna and his family to the United States. But Panna believes they almost didn't make it. Back in Cambodia, Hun Sen was threatening the opposition. This audio recording reportedly of Hun Sen addressing his party was leaked on social media. Breaking his bail conditions, Porn Panna continued his political activities, even helping to organise a demonstration in Cambodia.
ពេលនឹងគឺលោកហ៊ុនសែនមានការខឹងសម្បានឹងខ្ញុំខ្លាំងមែនទែនថារឿងទាំងអស់គឺចេញមកពីខ្ញុំជាអ្នករៀបចំយុទ្ធសាស្ត្រអីជាដើមបាទ
Then in September 2024, he received a message from someone inside the Cambodian government.
ខ្ញុំអត់អាចបង្ហាញឈ្មោះបានតែគាត់ថាដឹងថាជាមនុស្សម្នាក់ដែលគេលួចស្រឡាញ់ខ្ញុំហ្នឹងគឺ
He says it contained another recording of Hun Sen. The Cambodian government claims it's AI generated, but an independent expert Al Jazeera consulted believes it's genuine. In it, Hun Sen orders an operation against Porn Panna. The official in charge of the operation is named. Kleng Hut is the deputy governor of Phnom Penh City. Pik Kim Srin, one of 2 Cambodian suspects in the killing of Lim Kimya, is a town hall employee. Kleng Hut reportedly says he doesn't know him and vehemently denies any involvement in Lim's death. As long-time opposition leader Sam Rainsy explains, the town hall administration is widely believed to recruit henchmen used for attacks on the opposition.
Many people who have been attacked in the street by unidentified assailants, they are part of this group. Kleng Hut is responsible for contacting, for working with certain milieu in Thailand, because Kleng Hut used to live in Thailand.
Photographs suggest Kleng Hut is close to Hun Sen's family friend, Thaksin Shinawatra. In the recording, Hun Sen alleges he has the backing of Thaksin's Red Shirt movement. Terrified, Panna called Kim Hun Tit to tell her about the recording.
It's like really shocked me because the voice is voice of the Hun Sen. I said, Panna, you have to leave right away.
From the US, she arranged a taxi to take him and his family to a hotel immediately. A few hours later, he received more messages. The first containing photographs of the building and the door of the apartment they just fled from. This was confirmed by the next message containing yet another audio recording of Hun Sen, also verified by Al Jazeera's expert. Fearing for their lives, Panna and his family fled to another Bangkok hotel. Then came a call from the Thai Immigration Department demanding a meeting.
This is not normal at all. This is weird, and we told him to refuse.
Kim Hun Tit's network went into overdrive. The audio recordings proved vital evidence of Porn Panna's imminent danger. The Thai Human Rights Commission issued a most urgent protection letter to the head of immigration, and the US escalated asylum. On the 15th of November 2024, Porn Panna and his family arrived in their new homeland. Hun Sen's words still echoing in Panna's head. Soon after he flew to safety, Thailand deported 6 Cambodian opposition activists to Phnom Penh. 5 had UNHCR refugee status, the 6th was pending. Now in prison in Cambodia, they're facing charges of plotting to overthrow the government, with sentences of up to 10 years. But cooperation with Cambodia's growing transnational repression goes beyond Thailand. Malaysia, the current chair of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, also stands accused of complicity. In September 2024, in the suburbs of Kuala Lumpur, 36-year-old Cambodian domestic worker Nguyen Tuan was arrested at the house where she was working. Within 3 days, she was back in Cambodia and in prison, slapped with incitement charges and denied bail, a favoured weapon to silence government critics.
Pasport dia masih hidup. Permit dia masih hidup.
This man knows Nguyen Tuan, but doesn't want to be identified for fear he too will be targeted by the Cambodian government. He called the Malaysian police as soon as he heard she was detained.
Dia kata dalam sistem polis tak ada. Dia dah cek daripada immigration pun tak ada nama ini.
The next day, he went to Nguyen Tuan's employer's house, only to find she'd already been escorted out of the country.
Majikan dia dikata 6 orang bersama dengan 2 kedutaan, wakil kedutaan. Immigration cakap ini kes berkaitan dengan politik macam itu. Kaitan bahawa nonton ini banyak tentang kerajaan melalui media sosial.
Nguyen Tuan's Facebook page is frozen in time. Her last post, just a week before her arrest, criticised the Hun family for promoting beer. Other posts, like this one attacking Hun Sen's wife, are more abusive. Extradition and long-term incarceration for speaking out.
All we knew was that she was desperate. Her friends called my office, and we were desperately looking for her. We were trying our best to find her first and then get her access to a lawyer. But it was really fast.
Government MP and Malaysia's ASEAN human rights representative, Wong Chen, explains that Cambodia cancelled Nguyen Tuan's passport to pave the way for her deportation.
She became an illegal at the moment the passport is cancelled. It breaks my heart. They should have taken more effort to ask her, were you seeking political asylum? Are you saying you're being oppressed? Those are so important, I think.
Especially since the country's Prime Minister, Anwar Ibrahim, knows all too well what it's like to suffer political persecution. In the decades it took him to reach the top job, he was beaten by police and jailed twice on what were widely regarded as trumped-up charges.
Prime Minister, nice to meet you, very angelic.
Also chairman of ASEAN, we've come to ask him how Nguyen Tuan came to be extradited on his watch.
Well, this is the of the Home Affairs Ministry. They briefed us on the call for extradition by the authorities in Cambodia. But within ASEAN, if it is deemed to be related to some activity that we cannot defend in terms of the law, then we will have to extradite.
But Prime Minister, it wasn't difficult to see that this was not a matter of law. This was a matter of human rights. What would have you done if the international community hadn't rallied behind your cause and said, this is not on? You know, you were supported.
No, I did. But, you know, we have to go back to the specific case. If we are convinced, then we send them back.
So
if we're not convinced, we delay. Even in this case,
offences?
I wouldn't know.
But
what I know is when there was a request, then I did communicate with the Prime Minister. That much I did.
To Hun Manet or?
To Hun Manet.
Hun Manet.
Yes.
And what did you say to Hun Manet?
No, of course I said we were concerned. Then they said we have given all the evidence to your Home Affairs Ministry.
But there doesn't seem to be any transparency here. What did she do wrong? She was charged with incitement in Cambodia, but she had a Facebook page with followers. You know, it's not a major threat to a government.
That's not the only issue raised by the Cambodian authority. It's not a question whether I agree or not. I have my personal views. But I think it's paramount to also respect their laws. Otherwise, how do we work and make ASEAN as a cohesive force?
With political and personal relations at play when it comes to holding the Cambodian government to account, the question is, where does that leave the investigation into the killing of former opposition MP Lim Kimya?
He was a major opponent of the Cambodian regime. He was killed in broad daylight in Thailand. Certainly there'll be questions about whether there was an arranged outcome. And the Thai government, I think, has not really got to the bottom of it.
When the Thai police hastily concluded that Lim Kimya was killed for personal reasons, I think this coincides with the way Hun Sen want people to interpret this kind of killing.
In Cambodia, the two men suspected of organising Lim Kimya's killing remain at large. The warrants for their arrests and Interpol red notices issued by Thailand have since been ridiculed by Cambodia's then Interior Ministry spokesman, Q Sapik, in an interview with Radio Free Asia. As for sending the suspects to Thailand, Hun Sen appears to have ruled that out. But Lim Kimya's French citizenship could be a game changer. In Paris, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs declined to be interviewed, but in an email confirmed a judicial inquiry has been opened into the killing of Lim Kimya.
After the countless assassinations in Cambodia, political assassination, nobody has been tried. Here we have a professional police, we have an independent court. It is not like the court in Cambodia, where Hun Sen enjoys total impunity.
Sam Ranzi is also a French citizen. In March 2025, he gave evidence in a Paris court against two of Hun Sen's former bodyguards for their alleged role in a 1997 grenade attack on him and opposition protesters in Phnom Penh that killed 16 people. He believes the case has taken decades because it happened inside Cambodia, unlike Lim Kimya's killing.
The Cambodian authorities refuse to cooperate with the French authorities. No cooperation whatsoever. But now, the investigation involved Thailand and France. Cambodia is not alone. Even if Hun Sen's Cambodia wants to cover up this crime, they cannot.
Lim Kimya's daughter, Sophanie, is also quietly hopeful. She's now in regular contact with the Foreign Affairs Office and the police.
En France, la police judiciaire m'a auditionné. Aujourd'hui, la police française a le téléphone portable de mon père, ainsi que son ordinateur portable. Donc nous espérons que grâce à ça, l'enquête puisse avancer.
Her brother Thomas believes diplomatic pressure is also vital.
Si le président de la République, Emmanuel Macron, souhaite mettre la pression sur le Cambodge, il a les capacités pour le faire. Pour que le Cambodge arrête ces deux individus, qu'ils les remettent en Thaïlande, et à partir de là, l'enquête pourra réellement progresser.
Thaksin Shinawatra, Hun Sen and Klang Hut did not respond, but a ruling party spokesman denied all allegations made in this program. As Lim Kimya's family and friends in France say their final goodbyes, they refuse to be silent until justice is done.
Ils peuvent très bien envoyer des gens à droite à gauche, comme on a pu le voir dans d'autres pays. Voilà, il ne faut pas avoir peur de dire ce qu'on veut dire.
Aujourd'hui, Lim Kimya, mon père, est mort pour la cause qui lui a tenu à cœur toute sa vie. La liberté de son pays et la justice pour tous les Cambodgiens.